Have you ever walked into your bathroom, expecting that crisp, clean scent, only to be greeted by a faint, yet persistent odor of urine? You've scrubbed every surface, sprayed every air freshener, even lit candles hoping to mask the smell. But somehow, it clings, lingering like an unwanted shadow. What if I told you that the problem isn't your effort, but 6 everyday bathroom habits you may not even realize are working against you? These mistakes aren't obvious. In fact, many older women make them without ever connecting the dots. Yet doctors are now raising red flags, pointing out how these small oversights are slowly robbing our homes of the freshness we work so hard to preserve. And here's the surprising part. Each one has a simple, effective fix that could restore not only your bathroom's cleanliness, but also your peace of mind. If you've ever felt embarrassed by that lingering smell or worried that guests might notice, stay with me. Because today, we're diving into the overlooked details that can transform your bathroom into the welcoming sanctuary it was meant to be. Now, before we begin, if you find this video helpful, please take a moment to like it. That small action helps me continue sharing vital health lessons for graceful aging. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so. Don't forget to tap the bell so you won't miss any future tips. Also, drop a comment below. Type number 1 if this topic resonates with you, or 0 if you'd like to see something different next time. Let's get started with the first mistake: ignoring the toilet's hidden trouble spot. You know that satisfying feeling after scrubbing your toilet bowl until it gleams like new? The porcelain sparkles, everything looks pristine, and you check bathroom off your to-do list with a sense of pride. But here's what often goes unnoticed: the base of the toilet, where it meets the floor. That small, narrow edge is a trap for moisture and hidden residue. During one especially busy weekend with my 3 grandkids running around, I learned this lesson the hard way. Their laughter filled the house, their footsteps echoed through the halls, and yes, the bathroom saw more action than it had in months. Despite my cleaning, something didn't smell right. That was the moment I discovered just how much grime can accumulate along that floor seam, completely undermining all the effort I'd put in above the surface. After everyone left the bathroom, I noticed something peculiar: a faint, lingering odor that refused to go away. It wasn't strong, but it was persistent, clinging to the air like a quiet reminder that something wasn't quite right. I had already scrubbed the toilet bowl until it sparkled, wiped down the tank, and even washed the shower curtain, thinking that would surely solve the problem. But the smell lingered, like an unwelcome house guest overstaying their visit. Feeling frustrated, I decided it was time to dig a little deeper. With a flashlight in hand and determination in my heart, I lowered myself onto my creaky knees, a task that's no small feat at my age. I leaned closer to the base of the toilet, the one place I had never truly examined. What I found made my stomach turn. There it was, a grimy ring lightly staining the floor around the toilet, barely visible unless you looked for it. Dust bunnies clung to the edges, stray hairs nestled into crevices, and a faint yellow tint formed an outline, an invisible stain now made visible. It felt like the toilet had been keeping a dirty little secret all along. Why does this happen, especially in homes like ours? According to microbiologists and professional cleaners, the base of the toilet is one of the most overlooked and vulnerable spots for contamination. Tiny splashes of urine, particularly common in homes with men or young boys, can trickle down the sides of the toilet during regular use. These droplets settle quietly at the bottom, seeping into the grout between tiles or nestling into the seams of vinyl flooring. And once there, they don't just vanish. Instead, the combination of urine residue, everyday dust, and moisture becomes a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. This creates the kind of musty, stubborn odor that no amount of air freshener can truly eliminate. Even worse, if the toilet bolts are loose or the base isn't sealed properly, urine can sneak underneath the fixture, collecting unseen and festering over time. That hidden mess becomes an ongoing source of odor, no matter how often you clean the surfaces above. So, what's the solution? It's surprisingly simple and incredibly effective. Commit to cleaning the toilet base thoroughly at least once a week. A consistent cleaning routine here can make a world of difference. Start by gathering your tools. A soft microfiber cloth, warm water, a high-quality enzyme-based disinfectant, like the kind designed to neutralize pet odors, and a good pair of gloves to keep everything sanitary. These enzyme cleaners are powerful because they don't just cover up the smell, they break down the organic matter at the source. Preparing the area is important too. Lay down an old towel or some paper beneath the toilet to catch any drips or loosened debris. With your gloves on, work slowly and mindfully around the base, reaching into the corners and edges that are easy to miss. It may not be glamorous, but it's worth it, because nothing feels better than walking into a bathroom that smells as fresh and clean as it looks. Place an old towel around the toilet base before you begin. This not only catches any drips, but also makes cleanup much easier afterward. Then, get to work. Dampen a microfiber cloth with warm water and add a few drops of your enzyme-based disinfectant. Slowly and thoroughly wipe around the entire base of the toilet, especially focusing on the bolts and the narrow seam where the porcelain meets the floor. This is where grime likes to hide, even when everything above looks spotless. If you're dealing with stubborn stains or visible grime in the grout, grab an old toothbrush. Its bristles are perfect for gently scrubbing those tight, textured areas without damaging the surface. Take your time here. This is one of those hidden tasks that makes a world of difference. Once you've scrubbed everything clean, don't forget the final, critical step: drying. Use a clean, dry cloth to absorb all moisture around the base. Any leftover dampness can encourage the return of bacteria, especially in warm, enclosed spaces. While you're down there, inspect the area. Are the toilet bolts secure? Is there old or cracked caulking where the toilet meets the floor? If so, it might be time to reseal it. Fixing these small issues now can prevent even bigger headaches down the road. Now, I understand. If you're dealing with limited mobility, getting down on the floor like this might feel like you're gearing up for the Olympics. I've been there. That's where specialized tools come in. I found a long-handled scrubber designed specifically for older adults or those with flexibility challenges. Many of these are available in home goods stores or online, and they feature angled heads that can easily reach around the toilet base without requiring you to bend or twist. Another great option? A handheld steam cleaner with a slim nozzle attachment. It can blast away grime and sanitize the area with minimal effort, and it's surprisingly satisfying to use. You'll wonder why you didn't try it sooner. Since incorporating this little routine into my Sunday cleaning ritual, my bathroom has stayed as fresh as a spring morning after a gentle rain. That musty, sour odor that used to linger, completely gone. And I feel a quiet sense of pride every time I peek down and see that clean, shining base. Trust me, once you address this often forgotten corner, you'll be amazed that it went unnoticed for so long. I cherished mine. A soft, lavender-colored toilet mat that matched my bathroom's decor perfectly. It felt like a warm, gentle hug for my feet, especially on cold mornings when tile floors felt like ice. To me, it symbolized comfort and a touch of elegance. But what I didn't realize was that this cozy accessory, which I thought added charm and cleanliness to my space, was actually working against me. That realization came one quiet morning. I had just finished brushing my teeth when I accidentally dropped my reading glasses near the toilet. As I leaned down to retrieve them, an unpleasant, sour odor hit my nose, one I hadn't noticed standing up. Curious and concerned, I gently pulled back the mat. I expected a bit of dust, or maybe a stray hair or two, but what greeted me was something far worse. The underside was stained, discolored, and had a pungent smell strong enough to make me flinch. My beloved mat had been quietly collecting filth, and I'd been none the wiser. Why does this happen? According to cleaning experts and even some doctors, fluffy toilet mats are notorious breeding grounds for bacteria and odor. They sit close to the base of the toilet, right in the splash zone, especially in homes with men or children. Each time someone uses the toilet, tiny droplets of urine can land on the mat's surface. Those soft, absorbent fibers soak it in like a sponge, and the warmth and moisture of the bathroom create the perfect environment for bacteria and even mold to grow. Even when the mat is machine washable, if it's not cleaned thoroughly and often, those odors and germs don't completely go away. The fibers can cling to organic matter, locking in unpleasant smells no matter how spotless the rest of the bathroom appears. You could scrub the tiles until they shine, light scented candles, or spray all the air freshener in the world, and still wonder why that musty odor persists. The solution, though difficult at first, became clear. As much as I loved that plush mat, I knew it was time to say goodbye. I replaced it with a more hygienic option, and I haven't looked back. If you're dealing with a similar problem, here are a few practical alternatives to help restore the freshness of your bathroom. Choose a low-pile, thin, machine-washable mat with a rubber or vinyl backing. These types of mats are far less likely to absorb moisture and are much easier to keep clean. They dry quickly, don't trap odors as easily, and can be tossed into the washer once a week with a disinfecting cycle. You might also consider skipping a mat altogether. Bare tile or vinyl flooring, when kept clean and dry, may be the most hygienic option, especially if your bathroom has adequate heating or floor rugs placed in drier areas. The change might feel small, even trivial, but trust me, removing that odor-trapping mat made an immediate difference, not just in how my bathroom smelled, but in how I felt stepping into it, fresh, clean, and confident. And isn't that how we all deserve to feel in our own homes? Trap moisture. Those are two words you never want associated with your bathroom. That's why the placement of your mat matters more than you think. If you still prefer having one, position it a few inches away from the toilet base rather than hugging it. This simple shift helps avoid the splash zone, reducing the risk of odors seeping in. I personally switched to a sleek, washable mat that blends with my bathroom's color scheme, and it goes into the laundry every week like clockwork. That small habit has been a game changer. But maybe you're ready for something even better. If you're brave enough to go mat-free altogether, here's a cozy alternative. Washable slippers. Yes, really. I keep a soft, plush pair right by my bathroom door, and slipping into them every morning feels like a little act of self-care. They keep my feet warm, feel luxurious, and unlike those mats, they don't quietly absorb odors behind my back. If you simply can't part with your mat, that's okay too, but you'll need to commit. Wash it weekly in hot water with a splash of vinegar. The heat kills bacteria, and the vinegar works wonders neutralizing stubborn smells. Shake it out daily to remove trapped dust and hair, and be sure to lift it up regularly to check for moisture or discoloration underneath. A hidden puddle can spell trouble for both your floor and your nose. When I made the switch, it felt like giving up a small comfort. But the reward? A bathroom that smells just as clean and fresh as my morning pot of coffee. It's that satisfying. So if you're still hanging on to that fluffy toilet mat, I encourage you, reconsider. Your nose, your floor, and your peace of mind will thank you. Flushing with the lid up. Now that's a mistake I'm not proud of. For decades, I did it without a second thought. The whooshing sound felt like a final note of accomplishment. But once I learned what really happens during an open lid flush, my habits changed. Immediately. Why does it matter? Because every time you flush with the lid up, something unsettling happens. The toilet plume. It may sound harmless, but this invisible mist of water droplets shoots up into the air, carrying with it tiny particles of whatever's in the bowl. Yes, including fecal matter, urine, and bacteria. And those microscopic contaminants don't just vanish. They settle on everything within reach. Your sink, your soap, even your toothbrush. Studies conducted by microbiologists have uncovered something rather unsettling. This invisible toilet plume we mentioned earlier can travel as far as 6 feet. That's right. Each time you flush with the lid open, microscopic droplets filled with bacteria and waste particles can land on anything within that radius. Think about your toothbrush, hand towels, soap dispenser, or even your luxury skincare jars. And in small bathrooms, where space is tight and surfaces are closer together, the risk becomes even more pronounced. Over time, these invisible contaminants contribute to unpleasant, lingering odors and make it incredibly difficult to maintain a truly clean environment, no matter how often you scrub. I still shudder when I think back to how I used to store my toothbrush proudly on the bathroom counter, just 2 feet from the toilet. I had no idea it was quietly being coated with toilet plume residue every time I flushed. No wonder there was always that faint, untraceable smell in the air. I was unknowingly living in a swirl of airborne bacteria, like the main character in a microscopic snow globe. Thankfully, the fix is remarkably simple, and once you make this change, you'll never go back. First and foremost, always flush with the lid down. It's a tiny habit with massive benefits. Just 1 extra second of effort can drastically limit the spread of airborne particles. If you're worried you might forget in the beginning, try placing a sticky note on the lid or the wall above the toilet. A gentle reminder until it becomes second nature. And if your toilet doesn't have a lid, which is more common than you'd think in older homes or commercial-style bathrooms, it may be time for an upgrade. Replacing the seat with one that includes a lid is a fast, low-cost project. I personally replaced the lidless seat in my guest bathroom, and the peace of mind it brought was worth far more than the price tag. But let's not stop there. Protecting the surfaces and items you use every day is just as important. Move your toothbrush into a closed cabinet or a storage drawer. I keep mine tucked safely inside a small ventilated case, and it brings me real peace of mind. The same goes for your hand towels. I now swap mine out every 2 to 3 days and wash them in hot water to keep them fresh and bacteria-free. Don't forget about air circulation. A well-ventilated bathroom is your secret weapon. Turn on the exhaust fan while flushing and leave it running for a few minutes afterward. If your bathroom has a window, crack it open to allow fresh air in and unwanted particles out. And finally, make it a habit to wipe down high-touch areas, like the countertop, faucet handles, and sink basin, on a regular basis. These surfaces may look clean, but they can quietly collect plume particles over time. Implementing these changes felt like a breath of fresh air. Literally. My bathroom now feels cleaner, smells fresher, and gives me that same calm satisfaction I get after tidying up the rest of my home. It's amazing how such small steps can lead to such big improvements. The transformation was remarkable. That constant haze, almost like a fog, vanished from my bathroom. The air felt lighter, fresher, and most importantly, cleaner. Those faint, lingering odors that used to greet me first thing in the morning? Gone. And I no longer felt that uneasy worry about invisible germs settling on my toothbrush, towels, or skincare bottles. It's incredible how something so simple, closing the toilet lid, could make such a profound difference. Like the sky clearing after a heavy thunderstorm, this one habit lifted a cloud I didn't even realize was there. Your bathroom, your health, your peace of mind, it all begins with this kind of mindful care. If you're still watching this video and these lessons are resonating with you, please take a second to comment number 2 below. It means so much to know we're learning and improving together. Thank you for giving your time and attention to your well-being. Now, let's talk about a sneaky offender that often hides in plain sight, the underside of the toilet seat. Imagine this. You've just finished a deep clean of your bathroom. The toilet bowl gleams like porcelain perfection, and the seat sparkles under the soft glow of the vanity light. You take a step back, admiring your work, feeling accomplished. But there's one place that's quietly smirking at your efforts, the underside of the toilet seat and the hidden rim beneath it. These areas often go unchecked, and they can be secret sanctuaries for germs, odors, and lingering urine residue. Without even realizing it, your spotless-looking bathroom may still harbor the stale scent you can't quite place. I discovered this the hard way, thanks to the curiosity of my 5-year-old granddaughter. During a weekend cleaning session, she insisted we check everywhere, and she meant it. When she helped me remove the toilet seat, I was stunned. The underside revealed yellowed grime, stubborn residue, and a faint but undeniable smell of neglect. I was mortified. How had I missed this hot spot for so long? You see, the underside of the seat and the rim's narrow crevices are prime real estate for bacteria. It's warm, it's damp, and it's exposed to tiny splashes of urine, skin cells, and even microscopic bits of fecal matter. This is especially true in homes with young children, men, or regular guests, any situation where bathroom traffic is high. According to hygiene expert Dr. Lisa Ackerley, these neglected spaces become breeding grounds if not cleaned regularly, undoing much of your hard work in just days. According to hygiene experts, these overlooked areas are among the most neglected spots in routine bathroom cleaning, yet they're absolutely critical if you want to maintain a truly fresh and sanitary space. The good news? Tackling this hidden offender is much easier than you might think, and the payoff is surprisingly satisfying. Make it a weekly ritual, a simple 5-minute act of self-care that rewards you with lasting freshness. Start by checking if your toilet seat is designed for easy removal. Many modern seats now come with quick-release hinges or locking bolts that detach easily with a gentle twist or press. If you're unsure, don't worry. Just consult your toilet's instruction manual or look up the model online. A quick search can save you both time and frustration. Once the seat is off, it's time to roll up your sleeves. Arm yourself with a powerful disinfectant. A bleach-based cleaner can work wonders, but if you prefer something gentler, a 1-to-1 mixture of white vinegar and water, enhanced with a dash of baking soda, makes a fantastic natural alternative. Then, grab a stiff bristled brush, or even an old toothbrush for those tight corners, and begin scrubbing every nook and cranny. Pay close attention to the hinges and the rim area around the flush valve, where water flows out. These tiny spaces are magnets for grime, bacteria, and invisible buildup. A simple wipe won't cut it. These areas need some elbow grease. After scrubbing, rinse everything down with a damp cloth. Dry the parts thoroughly to avoid mold or mildew, and then snap the seat back into place. It's quick, simple, and incredibly effective. That first time I did this myself, I took a step back and couldn't help but smile. The space looked brighter, the air fresher, and there was an undeniable sense of pride, like I'd just polished a treasured family heirloom. It wasn't just cleaning, it was reclaiming the dignity of my home. To maintain that sense of freshness, consider giving the underside of your seat a weekly spritz of odor-neutralizing spray. A product like Febreze works well, or you can make your own blend with water, vinegar, and a few drops of essential oils like lavender or tea tree. It's a tiny effort that helps keep unwanted smells from sneaking back in. And if your bathroom sees frequent use, whether from family, guests, or grandkids running in and out, it may be worth bumping this cleaning task up to twice a week. Little habits like this create an environment that feels not only clean but cared for. And isn't that what every home should feel like? Make this ritual part of your routine, even increasing it to twice a week if your bathroom sees frequent use. Trust me, once you experience the fresh, clean difference it brings, you'll never want to skip it again. It's like unlocking a secret weapon in your cleaning arsenal. Simple, effective, and empowering. Now, let's shift to a topic that often goes unspoken, but touches many lives: incontinence products. This might not be the easiest conversation to have, but it's an important one, and it deserves to be approached with honesty, compassion, and care. If you or someone you love relies on incontinence pads, liners, or briefs, there's something you need to know. Improper disposal can quietly sabotage your efforts to keep your bathroom smelling fresh. You may not even realize it until it's too late. I learned this lesson the hard way while caring for a close family member. At first, I thought tossing used pads into the regular bathroom trash was perfectly fine. I placed them in a lidded bin and thought the issue was handled. But over time, a faint, persistent odor began creeping in. It wasn't overpowering at first, just a subtle, nagging scent I couldn't quite place. But as the days passed, the smell grew stronger, seeping into the room and gradually eroding that clean, comforting environment I'd worked so hard to maintain. Honestly, I felt embarrassed, as though I'd somehow let my home's dignity slip away without noticing. According to Dr. Jennifer Wu, a respected urologist based in New York, this issue is more common than most people think. Incontinence products, while invaluable for preserving comfort and independence, can become hidden sources of odor and bacteria if not handled correctly. The very materials designed to absorb moisture and protect skin are also highly effective at trapping odors, especially in the warm, often humid environment of a bathroom. Over time, that trapped odor builds up, becoming harder to mask and easier to notice. Fortunately, the solution doesn't require a major overhaul, just a few thoughtful adjustments that make a world of difference. First, invest in a small, dedicated trash bin specifically designed for sanitary disposal. Look for one with a tight sealing lid, similar to what you might use for diapers. This isn't just about appearance, it's about containing odors before they have a chance to escape. Place the bin in a discreet but ventilated corner of your bathroom, ideally away from heat sources like radiators or direct sunlight, which can amplify smells. To enhance freshness, line the bin with deodorizing trash bags, or sprinkle a bit of baking soda at the bottom before adding a new liner. It's a small gesture, but it helps neutralize any lingering odor before it becomes a problem. If possible, empty the bin daily or every couple of days, especially during warm weather. These simple habits preserve the cleanliness of your space while maintaining the dignity and comfort we all deserve. Brands like Arm & Hammer or Glad Odor Shield are excellent choices when it comes to managing waste discreetly and effectively. If you're looking for an extra layer of protection, simply sprinkle a bit of baking soda at the bottom of the trash bin. This natural deodorizer neutralizes smells before they have a chance to escape. For even better results, seal each used pad or liner inside a small scented plastic bag. Diaper disposal bags or even pet waste bags work wonders. This two-step barrier effectively locks in moisture and odor, helping your bathroom maintain a clean, welcoming scent throughout the day. In warmer climates or busier households, odors can build up quickly. That's why it's essential to empty the bin at least once daily, or even twice if needed. It's a small habit that makes a noticeable difference. And if you're watching your budget, don't worry. There's a DIY option that's just as effective. You can repurpose a small lidded container, like an old coffee can or a plastic storage bin. Line it with a regular trash bag, and for added freshness, sprinkle in baking soda or a few drops of tea tree oil. Not only does tea tree oil have a pleasant, clean scent, but it also has natural antibacterial properties that enhance hygiene. To take odor control even further, consider placing an odor-absorbing product, like an activated charcoal deodorizer or a gel-based air freshener, near the bin. It may seem like a small detail, but these little additions create a powerful buffer between waste and the rest of your living space. These routines may feel simple, even mundane, but they're far from it. They are, in truth, quiet acts of self-respect, like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket of dignity and choosing comfort without compromising cleanliness. And beyond the physical cleanliness, there's an emotional layer to this. When I began incorporating these strategies into my daily routine, I experienced a subtle yet profound sense of relief. It was as if I'd taken back control, not just over a scent, but over the tone and atmosphere of my home. That quiet confidence, the peace of knowing everything is in its place, is a gift we all deserve. If you're supporting a loved one who uses incontinence products, these steps aren't just about cleanliness, they're a powerful expression of care. They help preserve the comfort and dignity of someone you cherish, creating an environment that feels calm, respectful, and reassuring for everyone involved. Keep your tools easily accessible. I recommend keeping a small caddy in your bathroom stocked with scented disposal bags, baking soda, disinfectant wipes, and gloves. When everything you need is at arm's reach, consistency becomes second nature. And that's when true change takes root. You'll find that once this routine becomes part of your weekly rhythm, it feels effortless, like second nature. There's something truly uplifting about stepping into a bathroom that smells clean, feels fresh, and reflects the care you've invested in your home. Every odor-free day becomes a small victory, lifting your spirits in ways you didn't even expect. If you're still with me in this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment the number 3 below. It's a simple way to let me know you're here and engaged, and I appreciate your valuable time more than you know. Now, let's talk about one of the most ignored areas in the bathroom: the wall behind the toilet. Here's a question most people never think to ask. When was the last time you cleaned that wall? If your mind just drew a blank, trust me, you're not alone. I hadn't given it much thought either until one intense deep cleaning day made me confront the truth. I had already scrubbed the toilet until it sparkled, mopped the floor with care, and polished the sink until it shone. Yet, something wasn't right. A faint, stubborn odor still lingered in the air, mocking all my efforts. On a whim, I grabbed a microfiber cloth, dampened it with a vinegar and water solution, and wiped the wall behind the toilet. What I saw next caught me completely off guard. The cloth came away streaked with faint yellow stains, and like magic, the unpleasant smell began to disappear. That unassuming wall had been the silent offender all along. According to Dr. Charles Gerba, known in the science world as Dr. Germ, the wall behind the toilet is a hotspot for urine splashes, especially in homes with men or young boys. Even minor inaccuracies in aim can result in tiny droplets that dry invisibly on the wall. These particles cling tightly to the surface, and over time, they produce a musty, sour scent that no amount of air freshener can truly eliminate. The problem can be even worse in bathrooms with poor ventilation or textured walls, where odors aren't just absorbed, they're trapped and amplified. That's why it's so important not to overlook this area when you clean. Fortunately, the fix is simple, and there's something incredibly satisfying about discovering and solving a mystery in your own home. Just make it a weekly habit. A few wipes with the right solution can restore not just the freshness of the room, but your sense of control over your environment. Mix 1 part white vinegar with 1 part water in a spray bottle, or use a diluted all-purpose cleaner that's gentle on surfaces. Be cautious not to reach for harsh chemicals like bleach, especially on painted walls, since they can strip the finish or cause discoloration over time. For wiping, choose a microfiber cloth or sponge. Their texture is excellent at lifting grime without damaging the surface. Lightly mist the wall behind the toilet, focusing especially on the section directly above the bowl, roughly 12 to 18 inches high depending on your toilet's height. Use circular motions to lift any dried residue that's been silently clinging there. You might be surprised at what your cloth reveals. It's like uncovering a hidden chapter in your home's cleanliness story. For textured walls, swap the cloth for a soft bristled brush to gently loosen stubborn spots. Always finish with a dry cloth to avoid streaking and to prevent moisture buildup, which can easily lead to mold in a humid bathroom. And if your bathroom has tile or a backsplash behind the toilet, don't neglect the grout lines. Those narrow gaps are magnets for splashes and can harbor lingering odors. A paste of baking soda and water, applied with an old toothbrush, can work wonders for brightening and freshening grout. For regular upkeep, keep a pack of disinfectant wipes within reach in your bathroom. A quick swipe every few days can prevent buildup from sneaking back in. It's such a small task, barely 5 minutes, but it brings a quiet sense of accomplishment. One swipe at a time, you reclaim your home's freshness and dignity. To make long-term upkeep easier, consider installing a splash guard or even a peel and stick vinyl backsplash behind the toilet. These not only protect your wall, but also simplify cleaning. And here's a clever tip if you have young boys in the household. Try placing a dissolvable toilet bowl sticker as a target. It turns better aim into a game and helps reduce splashes. When combined with regular wall wipes and mindful habits, these simple steps keep odors in check and transform your bathroom into the refreshing, clean space you deserve. After all, a truly clean home isn't just about what meets the eye. It's also about tending to the unseen spaces that support your comfort and peace of mind. The first time I cleaned that wall behind the toilet with intention, I stood back and took a deep, satisfying breath. For the first time in a long while, the air felt crisp and pure, untouched by the usual lingering odor. It was a simple act, yet the impact was undeniable. Isn't it amazing how sometimes the smallest details can breathe new life into the spaces we live in? And there you have it, my dear friends. 6 everyday bathroom habits that might be quietly stealing the freshness from your home. The good news? Each one can be reversed with just a few mindful steps. These aren't just cleaning routines. They're gentle, powerful acts of self-respect and care. Your bathroom isn't just a functional space. It's a reflection of your pride, your daily rhythms, and your commitment to living well. So, tell me, what stood out to you most today? Was it the importance of closing the toilet lid before flushing? Maybe the surprising grime hiding beneath the toilet seat? Or perhaps the tip about those cozy mats that secretly trap odor? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share just one thing you've learned that you plan to start doing. Your insight could be the inspiration someone else needs today. If you found this video helpful, please leave your comment below, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more practical tips to help you live cleaner, wiser, and better every day. Here's to fresh bathrooms, uplifted spirits, and a home that truly reflects the love and care you pour into it. Wishing you all good health, happiness, and peace. And remember to subscribe to Healthy Aging Blueprint for more insights from the heart.